Hey guys, it's Lemming Rush. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play TDs. So this is going to be a guide in general. For this video I'm going to be using the Grill, but you can apply this advice to pretty much every single tank in the, or every single TD in the game. And so hopefully this video should be helpful. So first thing, when you're setting up your TD, you have to understand why you're setting it up. So TDs are support tanks. They're supposed to be camo snipers, and you need to set it up so it can fit that role. You also have to understand that TDs are relatively weak. When they get shot at, they're always going to get penned. So you want to try to mitigate those weaknesses as well as take advantage of the strengths of TDs. So first thing first, since TDs are engaging things at range, you want to load 30 HE shells. So the reason you're going to want to do this is because even with 0.26 accuracy, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to actually reliably hit the weak spots of tanks, especially if you're shooting at people like 500 meters plus. So my suggestion would just be to carry all HE. That's going to sort of mitigate the RNG. It means even if you hit someone not in the weak spot, you'll still do some damage to him. So your damage will accrue over time instead of just like getting lucky and hitting someone for 750 damage. The next thing you're going to want to do is try to set up the consumables accordingly. So what I would suggest, especially in a tank like the Grill, what you're going to want to do is you want to carry food. So a lot of the time the crew members will get bored and they'll start fighting amongst themselves. So what I try to do is I try to feed them. That seems to make them a lot happier. That's just my crew specifically though. That's what I would suggest, is carry food to try to keep your crew members happy while they're just sort of sitting around in a bush. That way they don't get bored. Next thing you want to do is you want to carry 100 octane gasoline. So this is cheaper, but what it'll do is it'll mitigate the driving. So the gas really helps you get into position quickly. And then also if you need to leave a position, which I don't know why you'd need to do that, the gasoline will help you with that. So gasoline's really helpful when moving around the map. And finally, you're going to want an automatic fire extinguisher, because this thing, I mean, most CDs, if they get lit on fire, they will die. So that would be my advice as far as consumables and ammo. As far as the crew go, a lot of times what will happen is when you get to tier 10, your crew members will learn bad habits. So what I like to do is I like to start off with a brand new fresh crew, and so I'll typically just recruit 50% or 75% crew members as I'm playing. I think 50% is more reliable. I accidentally clicked 75% right there, but my suggestion would be 50%. That way you can train them up and actually teach them the correct way to snipe in their TDs. So that'd be my advice. Start off with a brand new crew. Don't even pay for the 75%. That was a mistake, but 50% all the way. Now that you've got your crew set up, I don't have the gold to change out the rammer and GLD, but typically I wouldn't suggest you run a rammer and GLD. I would probably suggest a toolbox, because if you get tracked, the toolbox will help you out. Fuel tanks, because like fill tanks with CO2, that means you won't get lit on fire as much. And then I will typically run a camo net, because that way you sort of take advantage of the fact that, you know, TDs are sniping tanks. And so this is how I set up my TDs. This is how I would suggest you do it too. Let's go into a game and we can see how it performs. Alrighty, so we're on the map Sand River. It's a standard game. If you look at the enemy team lineup, they've got some very reputable players in reputable clans on the enemy team. So they've got a Thugs player and a YOLO player. Now they don't have any arty, but I'm still pretty scared of the Batshat and the M48 Pattons, so I'm going to have to be relatively careful all game, and I'm going to have to be, you know, careful when I'm choosing my supporting positions. So I think probably the best place, I mean, I'm not very used to sniping on this map, but what I think I'm going to be able to do is just up here, I can use my gas to get into position, and then we'll be able to support the team from... I think right over here is probably going to be the best place to support. You can see I've got a bit of cover right here with the sand dune, and we can just pretty much sit right up here, and we should have shots on the enemies as they push into our team. So you're going to see I'm going to be able to sit right up here. I can support this T44 UDES and 55A. You can see the T44 seems to have DC'd. That's okay. I'll be in a position to help him, you know, until he gets back. So I'll cover him until he gets back, and I'll set up my camo net. Alright, it seems I was mistaken. The T44 hasn't DC'd. He was typing in chat. He says, Grill 15, what you going to hit way back there? I'm going to respond kindly, and it's generally a good idea to respond kindly to your teammates because that facilitates team play. So what I'm going to say to him is, shut the fuck up, noob. T44, I am support tank. Don't you know TD is sniping tank? I have camo net set up. Go scout, please. Alright, so that's pretty polite. He should understand exactly what I'm trying to communicate. I'm set up. I've got my camo net up, just like I told him. I should be able to support him as he gets pushed. All right, so quick look at the minimap. You can see they've got 3 tanks against like 5. We're probably going to lose up there. What our team should do is they should fall back so I can support them. But you can see they're not doing that. So team is idiot. I'm going to tell the UDES, though, and the 44 and the 55A to fall back. And I'll ping the map a couple of times once I'm done talking to them. So UDES, T44, T55A, fall back so I can support you. Okay, and now I'll ping the map just so they understand. I want these people to fall back. Please fall back to here. All right, cool. My message is pretty clear. Now it's just on them to fall back. Maybe I can support them. We'll see how it goes. All right, so it looks like a couple of them have died. I think we're actually going to lose the north side of the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the gasoline. You can see this is where the gasoline comes in handy. I'm going to move to the southern side of the map. That way I don't have to deal with, all 4 tanks that they have up there. That's probably going to be the smartest thing for me to do right now. And so one thing you have to be aware of when you're moving from one side of the map to the other is you make sure you're not lit, right? Because TDs generally get penned really, really easily. So I need to be really, really careful and sneaky when I make this sort of play. Now, there is a T10 in the middle. I also noticed there's some tanks up here. They're going to be covering me, basically, so they're being team players. What I'm going to be able to do is sneak right by into H1, kind of that type of area. And we should be safe for as long as possible. I mean, that's the goal anyways. So there's a 1390 up here. It doesn't look like he's going to spot me, so I'm just going to get safe right in here. Now, there are some tanks over there, but I have to get safe. I have to set up my camo net before I start to shoot at them. And once we do that, we should be able to sort of support this FE4202 over here. Now, the 140's done a really good job of staying alive. There is a 54E1 up here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot at him. Probably shoot at the guard, actually. We'll see. Whoever I can shoot at easiest, I think. We can shoot at the 34B, so... Do I see him? Yeah, he's 500 meters. Okay, we'll take a blind shot right there. I should be sitting still because my camo net is disengaged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit right here and set up my camo net while this M48 Patton goes to spot for us. He's doing a really, really good job of spotting right there. I think I'll take a shot at this T34B right here, and he just fired at me. That's weird. All right, my Sixth Sense hasn't gone off, but I don't think I'm going to get lit anyways. We've got the camo net. I'm just going to fall back just in case I was lit. Rather be safe than sorry. You can see I fired 2 shots already, which is pretty solid in my opinion. 4202's being a noob. He's losing to a Type 59. He's just not very good at this game. All right, so you can see the guards right here. I think what I'll do is I'm going to take a shot, not at him, I'll shoot at the 54E1. You can see I hit him. That was 462 damage, so pretty good roll, pretty well-aimed shot in my opinion. That was, I've been practicing aiming for a really long time, so my suggestion for you would be to practice aiming, but more importantly, the positioning. So you can see there's a bat shot right here. I'm going to sit still so I can fully aim, and we'll take a shot. Unfortunately, that one went low. We hit the ground, but that's okay. We're just going to have to keep reloading. There's a 54 lightweight behind me, so the noob team let him flank. I'm going to tell them what I think about. Well, maybe I'll ask the 140 to shoot the 54 lightweight. 140, please kill 54 LT and 1390. All right, we're just going to push into this guy because otherwise we're going to get flanked. Oh, I can't shoot. Wow, this is just a shitty situation to be in. Boy Grill, you sure are a good support tank. Shut the fuck up, noob. I am sniper tank. Alright, so occasionally you will get flack from your teammates from playing like a true support tank like I was, but it happens, you just have to roll with the punches. More importantly, like, skill will show itself in the end plate, so we'll see who's best right here. Alrighty, so as you can see, I did a whopping 691 damage. Most importantly, I damaged the tracks on the 34B, so that let people shoot at the 34B. We also knocked out the gunner on the 54E1, which was absolutely fantastic. You can see 691 damage, 101 base XP, so by no means were we the worst on the team. We could have done a bit better, but I'm pretty happy with 691 damage. Now, you can see the distance traveled is 1.51. That's a bit high, but it is what it is. The gasoline really, really makes it useful, but I mean, ideally, we would have been able to sit in our original position, but the team just melted way too quickly, so the distance traveled had to be a bit higher than normal, but such is the life of TD players. You can see we got a message. We'll see who's it from. Was it in this game? Sniper Tank. Sergeant Freddy is making fun of me. He says, Sniper Tank, try like shit tanker. Who are you? We'll see if he responds. Oh, he's the noob T55A driver. Shut the fuck up. You are noob T55A driver. You are dead in first 3 minutes. And you cry like woman. Alright. So, sometimes you will get people talking shit to you. You just kind of have to deal with it, but that's the life of a TD player. I did my job. I fired 4 shots, hit 2 of them, 691 damage, so I'm pretty happy with that result. So I hope this TD tutorial was helpful. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye.